Hello everyone and welcome back to another 0 hour video. Today I have a solo playthrough on Terror House hardcore mode, and I thought I would add a few comments to my gameplay footage to teach you how to complete this first mission and get a perfect score in case you struggle winning this one. I am going to be using an M4 and a Glock 17, but most importantly I am going to be using 2 flash grenades, which are really important because these help me arrest a lot of suspects and get very high score in co-op. So the one thing you have to know about this map in co-op is that there is usually always one outside the main building. So what I'm gonna do here is that I'm gonna push towards the main entrance and I will expect one to be on the right side there. And I'm gonna really slowly check, and if he's there I'm gonna try to arrest him. There's no one. Okay, I'm gonna push towards the left side. Usually that's where he is going to be. As I push to the left side, I'm gonna make sure that none of the double doors are open on the right side. If they are open, the suspects might be able to see through the double doors and through the windows and shoot you, so just be careful. I'm gonna push towards the left side and there it is. That's the only one that is outside the building. I'm gonna try to arrest him. I'm gonna fail, but that's okay. What you don't want to do here is waste one of your flash grenades just to arrest this one. It's not worth wasting one of your grenades just to arrest one. So I killed him, that's fine. But what I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna collect the weapon right away so that I don't forget any of the weapons and I get a high score. On this map you're unlikely to use all your ammo. So me personally, what I like doing is clearing the storage room first when I want to clear the ground level. So I start with this room because it gives me access to everything else, and there is enough space for obviously myself but the rest of my team if I'm playing with other players. The one thing you really have to make sure is obviously remove all the traps and remove all the door wedges before preparing your breach and clear tactic. There you go, so this door is locked. Sometimes the AI kind of like half open the doors, and you should definitely still check if there is a door wedge, because if there is one and you try to open the door, it will actually close it and the door wedge will activate and you won't be able to reopen the door. Once you're ready, flash the room in hope of getting as many suspects as possible flashed so that I can arrest all of them. That's 1, 2 on the right side. Checking left, there's another one here. Okay, the path is blocked on the far left side by the props. Just making sure that none of the AIs actually try to sneak there. We're gonna push right side through the other storage room. Okay, there seems to be someone in there. And okay, so one AI left pushing me and another one that already gave up. Okay, let's just make sure he's not coming from the left side. I mean, they can't go through there. There you go. See, they can't go through there, but they're still trying to have a look in the main room through the door. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, there's another one here. There you go. That might have been the last one. No trap. All good. Okay, so that's 4 suspects that gave up. So that's already 4 arrested suspects, which is really good for our score right now. Alright, once you know that this level is clear, what you can do is start arresting all the suspects that gave up, take their weapon, and then move on to the next one, and do that until you have arrested all of them. So like I said, on this map you don't really have to worry too much about the ammo because it's a fairly small map, you don't have that many suspects, so it's, you know, with an M4 you should be just fine. Most of the traps will be on this level as well, so be careful. But like I said, take your time, use the flash grenades. When clearing those levels, you would get a lot of arrested suspects, and it's a pretty easy way to get a really good score. We're gonna make sure this kitchen is empty as well. Usually it is. You can actually come from this side as well. You can, from the outside, jump into the kitchen through the window, and it's a pretty good way to get in this ground level from the outside as well. Probably mostly useful in PvP. There you go. Arrest the suspect, take their weapon, and so on. Once you are done with the ground level, you're gonna take care of the roof. So we're gonna climb all the way to the roof. We're gonna make sure this door is closed. If it's not, just be careful, take your time, make sure there's no AI checking there. Once you're at the top, there should be 2 AI suspects there waiting for you.
Police, hands in the air!
There you go. I wanted to arrest the second one, but it didn't work. So we still got 1 arrested suspect there, which is, again, really good for our score so far. No unauthorized use of force. We didn't lose any of the hostages yet. We collected all the weapons. We arrested quite a few suspects. We are doing pretty good right now. You don't have to shoot the cameras in co-op, but it's a good way to practice and get used to it in case you want to play PvP after that.
Police, hands in the air!
Now I'm gonna shout a couple of times to trigger the AI a little bit so that they come to me a little bit more.
Guns down!
Just making sure I'm not getting flanked from the lower
Police,
level.
hands in the air!
So far so good. Whew, that was a close one. Obviously, this could be a lot easier if you had more people with you who know what they are doing, because you could come here with a lot more flash grenades. You could even have people outside the building, on the walls, climbing and throwing flash grenades into the room, while the people inside the building push the rooms, breach and try to arrest the suspects. But you know, when you play solo like this, you have to accept the fact that you will have to kill some of the suspects. You can't arrest all of them. But even if you have, let's say, between 5 and 10 arrested suspects, it's still pretty good to get a very high score. I'm not gonna take the hostage with me right now because sometimes they get in the way. So what I will do is that I will open my tactical map, do a right click and put a marker on my location so that I know where this hostage is. So that once I found the second one, I know that I just have to open my tactical map again, go right back to where I put my marker, collect the hostage and leave. Alright, let's go take care of the first level now.
Police, hands in the air! Police, hands in the air! Police, hands in the air! Police, hands in the air!
Yeah, if I had used the UDC there, I would have known there were so many AI behind the door, and I would have used the flash grenade right away instead of opening the door and getting in, which triggered the AI right away. So we could have had more suspect arrested there, but another one is still pretty good. got stuck in the door here a bit. Alright, so what I usually do here is that I check the left side first, just to make sure there's no one on the far left, and then I'm gonna check this kitchen after that. So sometimes you have one in the kitchen room there looking straight at the balcony or the windows, and you want to make sure he's dead or he's arrested, because if you push too much and too fast, he will kill you. So in this room you need to be very careful because you have suspects that hide under the bed or in the wardrobes as well. So when you see wardrobes that are like half open, it's because sometimes you could have an AI hiding in it. So you need to be extremely careful. There you go. Shooting the hands, forcing them to drop the weapon so that I can arrest them. So all I'm missing at this stage is one of the suspects and the last hostage, which was in one of the really tiny bathrooms, which is pretty dangerous to push from this side. You can actually push them from the outside as well, which is really cool. But if you suddenly open the door, you can have a good view on the hostage. There you go, on the hostage and the suspects, and you can neutralize the suspect without losing the hostage, which is really good. So at this stage of the game, all I had to do was just making sure everyone is arrested, all the weapons are collected, all the hostages are with me and taken out of the building, and then once it's done and you have all the 3 objectives completed, you have the extraction zone appearing on the map and you're ready to leave and get your score. So I'm gonna go back upstairs right now, collect the other hostage, making sure that I have all the weapons at the same time, making sure everyone is arrested. So I don't think you lose points for not collecting all the weapons, but I think you don't get as much as you could. Essentially, the things that really make you lose points are obviously killing the hostages, unauthorized use of force, losing someone in your team, which this is when playing those co-op missions with the team gets a little bit harder, and you need very good communication and coordination with the rest of your team to make sure that nobody shoots suspects that are about to give up. You don't take care of the same targets. You make sure there is enough communication and you look after each other so that nobody dies during the session, otherwise you will lose points. There you go, 2 hostages rescued, and I am ready to leave the map and collect my score.
All enemies have been neutralized.
There you go, 100 out of 100. You can do this as well in hardcore mode, solo. You can get this score. All you have to do is very much follow the steps that I followed in this PlayStation. I pretty much always play Terror House in this way, and most of the time I succeed and get a pretty high score. So I hope you learned something in this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and to subscribe to support the channel.